anything.
It's not the end because there's 5 of us.
No, I can you sit so we'll stand.
No, there's enough seats. Otherwise you can line over there.
things that you do.
Good afternoon, my name is Kathy, and I'd like to open this ceremony with a reading titled My Last End. The only reason lately I ever get down on one knee was to view the world the way that only a bowler gets to see. Upon that velvet turf, looking down along the level green, studying the kitty spread, and where the jack is on the scene. Will my final bowl be cunning, or just drive to win the end? I know I'll find there's bowls in heaven, so worry not, my friend. We thought we'd use this opening as we thought Glenys probably would have liked it. Glenys was a much-loved wife of Ivan, a loving mother of Dallas, Donna and Damien, an admired mother-in-law and friend of Jasmine and Melanie, an adored nan of Tyler, Alyssa, Georgia, Shannara, Layla, Ben, Millie, and great nan of Angus. She was a special sister of Yvonne and Bev, who has passed away. Glenys was an auntie, a relative, and obviously a friend to many. On behalf of myself and the staff of Peter Murray's Funerals and Glenys's family, I would like to welcome you here today and to thank you all for coming. I'd like to thank those that have travelled to be here and those that are joining us via the live stream. Glenys passed away peacefully at home on Friday, March 31st, surrounded by her family. As you're all aware, Glenys had cancer, but remember, the cancer was only a chapter of her life. It's not her whole story, and the rest of the story is now yours to tell. On behalf of the Witham family, I would like to thank Dr. Amy, the nurses and staff from Latrobe Hospital and the Bairnsdale Hospital, as well as the home-based nurses from Gippsland Lakes, for the care given to Glenys and the family, and a big thank you to Yvonne, Glenys' sister. Glenys was a lady who didn't want a sad funeral. Let's look at that photo, that proves it. So instead we're going to celebrate her life. We're going to be happy for the time that you got to spend with Glenys. Today you'll hear about her life through the eulogy that her family have written and through memories shared. You'll get to see a snapshot of her life through photos that have been chosen, and I know there was a lot of photos on the table when I went to visit. They spent many hours looking through the photo albums, photos on their phone, and they each have selected special moments. Following on from the ceremony, Glenys will be privately cremated. You're all invited to remain here out there to enjoy some refreshments and continue to share and reminisce. Now, at the conclusion of the ceremony, before we play the final piece of music, I'm going to ask those that would like to form a guard of honour to head on out to the walkway, and then we'll be carrying Glenys out for those that want to be in the guard of honour. I would like to ask Jazz and Mel to please come up and tell us about Glenys's life.
Hi everyone. Saying goodbye to Glenys today is the hardest thing that we've ever had to do. My name is Melanie, and Jazz and I would like to thank you all for being here to celebrate Glenys's life. Glenys Joy Witham was born Sunday the 10th of June 1945 in Rawell. She is one of 4 children. The eldest was Graham, then Bev, Glenys and baby sister Yvonne. Glenys grew up on a dairy farm in Yannar, and her mum Peg and her dad Alfred, where she had a wonderful childhood. They recall that over the river from the farm was their dear cousins, the Williamses. The 4 of them had so much fun crossing the river to spend time with them and yelling to each other across the valley. Glenys went to Yannar Primary School and then Morwell High School. Once finishing school, Glenys became a herd tester. Yvonne says that some locals still remember Glenys today visiting their herds.
Glenys met Ivan in her late teens. Ivan remembers that they just clicked. Ivan soon learnt that if he wanted to hang with Glenys, then he had to hang with Yvonne too. They were inseparable, and Ivan was fine with that. When she was 18, Glenys moved off the farm and into a house in Morwell with Yvonne, even sharing a bed. A few months later, Ivan and Otto, Yvonne's future husband, moved in, sharing the flat out the back. Yvonne remembers Glenys being so strict with the bed rules. She would only make her own side of the bed. Later, if Yvonne crossed to Glenys's side, she would get the nuttle knuckle. I recently experienced this one from Auntie Yvonne on Saturday night. It's not it's not too good. Ivan and Glenys were married with Yvonne and Otto 56 years ago in a joint ceremony. This shows their strong bond. Once married, Ivan and Glenys relocated to Lakes Entrance with baby Dallas. Ivan was trying to make a buck. The potato growing wasn't working. He said the mosquitoes carried them from Paynesville to Lakes Entrance. They then moved into the bait shop at the end of Barker's Ave and took on the hire boats with Glenys's older sister Bev and her husband Barry.
Glenys and Ivan had the bait shop for 7 or 8 years. They welcomed Donna into their lives in 1971 and Damien in 1973. They eventually settled in Maryball Street, where the family house is still today. For work, Glenys split scallops and then drove the buses for 17 years, driving kids to school in Bansdale. She made a huge impression on those kids, and they would often leave her gifts at the end of each year. Glenys has always been active in sports. As a young girl, she played men's rules basketball and tennis for Yannar. Glenys also loved water skiing with Ivan at the Hazelwood Pondage and the Geelong Storage Dam. In Lakes, Glenys was very active at the Lakes Golf Club, and she and Ivan won many golf trophies together. Glenys also won the Mount Gambier Division Championship. Donna recalls the time that Mum and Dad were at golf, and all 3 kids were left at home. They would have been about 8, 10 and 12 years of age. Donna was looking in her bottom drawer for some clothes to change into when she saw what she thought was a bicycle tyre. Well, Dallas confirmed that it was indeed a red-bellied black snake. It must have slithered through the window. The 3 kids, all alone at home, because their parents were at golf, suddenly kicked into survivor mode. They rushed outside, climbed the swing set with spears in hand, and waited for their mum and dad to come home. Damien remembers the snake hanging on the wire fence for a few weeks afterwards. We think that Ivan made an example of it. After a long stint at golf, Glenys moved into bowls, where she won the club singles championship 4 times and was part of many champion pennant teams with her longtime friends. When asked recently what her perfect days was, she said playing bowls with her friends. And no matter what club Glenys was part of, she was always able to make her lifelong friends.
Ivan and Glenys loved to travel together. They travelled to Greece, New Zealand and Bali with their close friends Rhonda and Manuel. The last overseas trip was cruising Europe with her friend Mary. She also became part of the Grey Nomads and toured with Ivan around Australia. They did countless trips to King Ash Bay, leaving us for months. They met new friends and Glenys caught the biggest barramundi, although I'm pretty sure Ivan still may disagree with that one. There were also many interstate bowling trips, trips to Tamworth for the music festival, Easter high country camping in Dargo, then Swifts Creek with her growing tribe of grandkids. Endless games of cards, bottomless bottles of wine kept the ladies busy and the men angry. They had to get their own food and drinks. Glenys had a love for sewing. She dressed herself, her kids and her grandkids. She loved material. She loved knitting and needlework. She loved cutting recipes out of the paper, then attempting to cook them. If she did and they didn't work, she was always sure to blame the oven. Glenys lived for her family. We always admired the strong bond between Glenys, Bev and Yvonne. She adored Dallas, Donna and Damien and was extremely proud of their achievements. She loved being a nan to her 7 grandkids and most recently became a great nan. Their memories include a freezer full of icy poles, secret lolly jars, and a full sweet biscuit tin. She spoilt them rotten. We know another favourite time was spent on a Friday afternoon playing cards and enjoying sippers with Mel and I. In the end, Glenys wanted to be at home with her family. We were lucky to be able to fulfil her wishes. She lived a life full of fun, love and adventures. May she now rest in peace.
Well done, guys. Brave people, really do. Now, is the grandchildren going to come up and share some memories?
Yeah. She shares it. Okay. In loving memory of a special Nan, I really miss you. Now you're no longer here. When I'm thinking of you, sometimes I shed a tear. I will always treasure you. You are so gentle and so kind. Your love lives on within my heart, memories of you in my mind. Life goes on from day to day, but something's out of place. I would give almost anything to once again see your smiling face. You are such a blessing, so thoughtful and so true. I feel eternally grateful to have a Nan just like you.
My name's Layla, if anyone doesn't know me. I'm going to read something on behalf of Kyla, Alyssa and Georgie. So it says, Dear Nan, not a day goes past we haven't thought about you. We miss you so much. We can remember all the happy memories you shared. When we were in primary school, we would come to your house every morning for brekkie, and you would make us toast and load it up with half the tub of butter and half the tub of Nutella. After brekkie, you would be in your room getting ready and the cash cow would be on, so you would run out into the kitchen with your phone to make sure it wasn't on silence, waiting to win heaps of money. Nan's still waiting for the big win. Alyssa won't ever forget how you taught her to sew and how to knit. One thing we enjoyed with our cousins was on the holidays you would take us to watch movies, and we would all have all the popcorn and she would sneak the lollies in as well. Always hungry after the movies, you managed to tackle the drive-thru at Macca's every time. We will cherish this special time forever. Nan, this is a poem that Alyssa made for you. Nan, in loving memory of Nan, we miss you, Nan, so much. It's been the hardest thing to lose you. I miss our time together. You meant so much to me. I wish I could have you forever, but you are in my heart, Nan, and that's where you will always be. I know heaven is calling you, but I wish you could have stayed. At least the memories I have of you will never fade. I did not want to lose you, but you did not go alone, because a part of me went with you when heaven called you home. So just remember one thing, we're not apart. You're with me in my memories and in my broken heart.
And then we've been very proud of you all for coming out. Is there anybody else who would like to come up and share some memories? That's okay. We've got plenty of time afterwards when we gather out there. It's a bit daunting in front of so many people. Photos play an important role in everyone's life. They connect us to our past. They remind us of people, places, feelings and stories. The moment was worth capturing for a reason, and it is these moments that need to be shared and talked about. As I said earlier, Glenys' family spent hours looking at photos and even learnt the names of some of the people in the photos that they never knew. You're now going to see about her life by seeing these photos that weave a tale about her as captured through the lens of a camera.
2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. What is that right? So join me home. We'll have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7th heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, I'll be going strong, and so will you. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 12, we'll cool off and start rocking around the clock again. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Nene was an auntie, but not an auntie, the most special friend that I have. Most fond memories, making my wedding dress and being a very special part of my beautiful wedding day. Love you, Nene.
There was many moments I had Auntie Glenys, but one in particular was when I flogged a couple of fags from the old man, and she took me down the street, and I lit one up thinking I was pretty cool, and then she just shot me down and told me how much of an idiot I was, and to put it out and not to smoke in front of her again. So that was Auntie Glen. Love you, miss you, and very special person.
Fantastic sense of humour, big genuine belly laugh, and how when I was a kid, Auntie Glen convinced me that they had devils living under her carpet.
A memory about my Auntie Glenys, who I loved very much, was I often used to go and stay with my Uncle Ivan and my Auntie Glenys when I was a much younger woman. And Auntie Glenys said she loved to have me come and stay, and she did express to me one night whilst we were doing the dishes that the reason was that she had someone to actually help her do the dishes and dry them, which is a great memory for me to be able to have and hang on to. Also, she had a big impact on my life because once my own mother had passed, she was able to share things with me that I didn't know about my mum. And one particular time she shared with me that I was actually the apple of my mother's eye, which I never knew and I wouldn't have known if she hadn't have told me. I know you're in a much better place, Auntie Glenys, somewhere over the rainbow, but we'll always love you and miss you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Through the dark night, far away, I am dying.
Yoo-hoo! I remember that sound. You can't see our front door from our living room, and whenever we heard the front door open and we'd hear a yoo-hoo, we always knew it was Mum, and she was either coming up for a wine or a coffee, and we always thought, fantastic, we get to have a break of doing whatever we're doing and just having a bit of a chat with Mum. So it's a sound that I got to imitate after a while, and sometimes I'd come in and I'd pull the kids. They'd think it was them, but it was just me. I got to mimic that sound. Yoo-hoo!
So I first met Glenys in the mid-90s when I started dating Damien, and it didn't take me long to realise what a great host, entertainer that she was. Every morning she'd bring in a cup of tea with a biscuit and say good morning, whether we were awake or not.
Got this tattoo for Nanny. It's a safety pin to represent her sewing and everything, because she'd always make us clothes. And the two little hearts are me and Nan. So we're always together.
I remember Nan and Pop used to tell me stories and them fishing up north, catching barramundi, and it really inspires me to get out there and do it myself.
The best thing about Nan would have to be probably just how supportive she always was. She used to come to every single school event, every single dance performance, every single play that any of us grandkids were in, and she would always just be there supporting and cheering us on, which I really loved about her, and it made me feel very special and it made me feel at home always.
Love you, Nan. I'm really going to miss you.
I have many memories with my mum, but the one I remember mostly is my mum making my deb dress. It was absolutely beautiful. Love you, Mum.
I was just remembering about some of the times we used to go camping up around Dargo with friends and family. It was along the Wonnangatta River. Quite often Mum and Dad would wake up in the morning feeling quite unwell, and they told us it was the Wonnangatta Wog, and us little kids, we didn't know what that meant. We thought they were sick with the flu or something. It wasn't for a while that we realised that the Wonnangatta Wog, well, that was just a hangover.
She was my sister and my best friend, and I'm going to miss her dearly.
I know it's wrong, it's a problem I'm feeling. If you're gone, maybe it's time to come home. There's an awful lot of breathing room, but I can hardly move. If you're gone, baby, you need to come home. Come home. There's a little bit of something me and everything in you. I bet you're hard to get over. I bet the room just won't shine. I bet my hands I can stay here, and I bet you need more than you mind. And I think you're so mean, I think we should try. I think I could need this in my life. I think I'm just scared that I know too much. I can't relate, and that's a problem I'm feeling. If you're gone, maybe it's time to come home. There's an awful lot of breathing room, but I can hardly move. If you're gone, baby, you need to come home. Come home. There's a little bit of something me.
I don't know how things are going to go without speaking to you every day of my life.
I think you're so mean. I think we should try. I think I could need this in my life, and I think I'm scared. Do I talk too much? I know it's wrong, it's a problem I'm dealing with. going for his tailor free. Now every tailor has a very fine needle, and a very fine needle has he. Sticking in and out, said the tailor.
You're the lady that I love. The lady Well, goodness gracious me. I was overseas in battle when the postman came to me, and he handed me a letter. Oh, I was as happy as I could be.
I remember Mum used to love playing cards, and when I was little, probably under 10, maybe 8 or 9, Mum and Dad used to have couples nights where they'd have some friends over and they'd just play 500 all night. And I used to sit on the end of the table just watching them and eating their nuts and their nibbles, and quite often I would get Mum her drink, and her preferred drink was Riesling and grapefruit, and it was always fun to make. It was half and half. I got to use the cask, which was sort of like a fun balloon when it was empty. But the grapefruit juice, it was just so yuck. And I remember she had to have grapefruit juice because if she had orange juice, well, us kids just used to drink it all. So she had to put up with that yucky, foul-tasting grapefruit juice. So I'm sorry, Mum, for that. In the later years, her preferred game was hand and foot, and she would play this for hours and hours and hours on end when she was camping with her friends. They'd set up a little table in the middle of camp and they'd play hand and foot. And what I remember about it is she had this peculiar way of counting her cards. And most people would count their cards one by one, but Mum would always count 2 by 2. So whenever you're playing cards and you see someone counting cards by 2s, you'll be able to say, just like Glenys did.
Pretty hard to explain someone like Glenys. I guess it's always hard when you marry someone, you just never know what your mother-in-law is going to be like, but I guess I was just so lucky to have Glenys as my mother-in-law. Couldn't have asked for a better one. Always there for us, always happy to help with the kids, for everything. She's definitely been a very strong rock for us, for our family, for Dallas and I and the kids.
Just one of the memories I had with Nan was when I went to stay at her house. She'd be up at the crack of dawn ready, waiting for the news to come on so she could enter to the cash cow.
I love Nan because she's a very kind-hearted person and she's always there for everyone. And my favourite memory is when we'd stay there the night and would have dinner, and before we finished dinner we'd go straight to the freezer for ice cream and would load it up with heaps of topping, and then afterwards we'd be on the couch with Nan cuddling and finish the night off with watching movies and eating chocolate.
Really loved when Nan and I used to watch Judge Judy together. Go Judge Judy!
Miss you, Nan, love you heaps.
I really love you, Nan, because I'm going to miss you.
We really do love you and our hearts are broken.
Got to let somebody know. Oh, when you love somebody, when you love somebody, got to let somebody know. So when you love somebody, when you love somebody, and it hurts like so. to let somebody go. It hurts like so to let somebody go. But you're still with me now, I know.
Makes everyone want to just go home and hug their loved ones that bit more and tell them you love them and dance and just, celebrate life with them. And the family did put that all together as well. I would like you to please stand and join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated. We're now going to play a song by Elvis Presley, and during this time we're just going to ask if the family would like to come up and just to place some rose petals and rosemary on Glenys's coffin and just spend a little bit of time with Glenys. And so just have a listen to the music and reflect on your own memories while you listen to Elvis.
Fly
Today you have been remembering a lady who was special to each of you in her own way. Be grateful that you're a part of Glenys's life, and I'm sure she was grateful to have each of you in her own life, and continue to talk about her and visit your memories. When you think of Glenys, remember the smile, the laughter and the joy that she brought into your lives. Her love of family and friendships meant the world to her. Sports played a big role in her life, from badminton, golf and bowls. It gave her pleasure to play them and to make friends. The fact that the bowling club and others will be forming a guard of honour is a testament of how much she was thought of. Whenever there is a social event from any of these clubs, Glenys would be involved with. She loved to dress up for the occasion, as you saw through the video. Family gatherings and barbecues in the family home were special for Glenys and Ivan, and there were and still will be many more gatherings there. Glenys wasn't much of a gardener, but she did love roses and wildflowers, so the next time you see a pretty rose, stop and admire it and think of Glenys. Travelling with Ivan was another one of her favourite things, as you heard, from caravanning around Australia to playing bowls at Nambour. As long as she escaped the cold, she was happy. No cold drafts there to complain about, and at least if Ivan left the caravan fridge door open, there wouldn't be that much cold escaping. Glenys has always been a country girl at heart and enjoyed going to Tamworth music festivals. However, Yvonne did tell me that the 60s music was often played when those two got together. She was no gourmet cook either, but when I asked her family about it, there was a resounding response to her curried sausages. So I guess that was one of her favourites. Whenever Glenys went out, she was always impeccably dressed, had to have her hair just right and her lippy on, and Mel and Jazz has made sure that this is the case for Glenys today. I know she enjoyed her Friday sippers and having a glass or two, and lucky Prosecco is around now, not the cask wine and grape juice. And she had her Prosecco in her Tiffany glass. So maybe you might have a glass or two in her honour this afternoon and give her a cheer when you do. And raise your glass at Friday night sippers for Glenys as well. No matter how you remember her, I'm sure that it will be with love. I'm going to close with a poem that family and I think reflect Glenys. Some people light up rooms with laughter, others can brighten the world with a smile. Many will make you feel happy, sitting nearby for a while. Some folk can cheer up a cold day with just a few words or a glance. Others can make things seem better if you just give them half a chance. But there are those whose whole life is a blessing, not just a moment of smile or word. They make all around them feel special, no person ignored or unheard. They give all they have and then they give more, while helping somebody get through. It's not about thanks or for mention, it's something in them they do. And when it's time they sadly leave us, we grieve, but also we smile. We give thanks that our lives were connected and we were tucked in their hearts for a while. I'd now like to ask those that are going to form the Guard of Honour to please head out to the walkway and line up, and then we'll play the final piece of music once everyone's, and we'll bring Glenys out past you all.
It must have been cold there in shadow, to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. Beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I would fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Kathy, you want to grab a trolley?
Hi, Marion. Good to see you. Oh, I didn't see you gone through. Well, I ended up in hospital. Oh, very good. That was said goodbye to Glenys and Don couldn't walk. Oh, yeah, I know. I just missed it. My cousin and me said, Jan, I did end up in hospital. She's been ringing me 2 or 3 days a week. I'm the oldest cousin and she's the next one.
Oh.
Well, she's probably like me. She couldn't.